Greetings, dear ones. I am Tiffany White Sage Woman, and today is Monday, April 3rd. And I thought I would just record a short little video to share something that has happened to me this weekend. And seeing as how I didn't have a show last night, I'm not going to have a show this coming Sunday because of Easter. But I wanted to share some experiences and just I'm sure that many of you could probably relate to this, and maybe not, but I just thought I would share this past weekend. We went to New York with my in-laws, are to see and visit with the in-laws for a birthday celebration. My father-in-law turned 82 years old, so it was great to have my sons, my husband, of course, to just have my father-in-law, mother-in-law, all of us together, family time. It was just really nice. And so we had a great time, right? And then Sunday, as we were getting ready to leave, it was probably like a half hour before we left, and just my husband was loading up the Jeep, trying to get everything repacked, and I was letting the dog out in their backyard, and then there was the next door neighbor has a small little dog barking her head off, and so I was trying to pay attention. I mean, there's a fence. I just didn't want him running up to it. Our dog Ty, and so um, he was going up to the fence, and at that time my mother-in-law walked out, was talking to the neighbor next door over the fence, and I walked around the cars in the driveway and near the fence line, and it's a part of the fence near the garage that a lot of people really don't walk around, and um, so I was very calm and peaceful, even though it was like, okay, let me pay attention to the dog. I mean, he couldn't really go too far, and I know he wasn't going to go through the fence. So it was kind of strange because that morning, everywhere I am in the morning time, even if I'm not at home, I always will go outside with nature and just do a great expression of gratitude. I don't really say it's a ceremony, it's just an expression of love and gratitude to the earth, to the land, to the sacred space. And so, you know, I was still feeling really, really good from that. And even though it was kind of, it could be stressful if we allowed it because, not just the whole family together, but also too, my father-in-law has had some health issues. So, um, just always staying positive, take that high road, which is like the high frequency road, right? Take the high frequency and stay there, and just be grateful for the time together. And that's what I was just humming, this little I am grateful mantra all weekend. And you know, so it was interesting. Then back to that, wasn't really chasing the dog. I was just walking, and then for like a split second, and I can't even put the time to it really. It was just kind of timeless. But I don't know what happened. I was standing up, I was walking, and then the next thing that I remember, okay, was that now my face is hitting the cement. My old glasses, my former glasses, you know, breaking my former glasses just break right here on this corner. I could feel it smash against my face and then break and pop off. And so, right, my thoughts are like, oh, those are new glasses, right? My new glasses. And how the heck did I get on the ground so fast? What's going on? It's like I'm trying to process what the heck is going on. So you can see right here, right? This is where my glasses hit my eye, or hit and cut. All right, so it started to bruise hours later, and then this is what it looks like now. So it's a darker purple. It's a light purple yesterday. Like on the way home, it started to swell and bruise, but it cut, and then there was of course blood. bleeding. I was bleeding. And my mother-in-law saw this and she's running over and she's like, oh my God, she's freaking out over you're bleeding, and it's like, okay, okay. And so she's like, what happened? I was like, I don't know. I lost my footing. I guess I lost my footing. Not really sure. um, and then I touch when she was like, you're bleeding. I touch and I'm like, oh, my hands and my hands, you know. So I reached out and to stop myself, on the concrete. But I don't remember doing that. But there's the proof that I did, you know. More so on the left, in the left side. Um, so because this one was almost a little numb, I had to work on it and just get the swelling down. So anyway, I always carry like my little emergency first aid kit. So I was doing all of this, but I was trying to run back inside really quick so that, because by this time my husband and son were outside and they were talking to the neighbor. So I was like, ran a different way back around the cars, along the house, snuck into the house, was trying to get into the house without them seeing me because, I didn't want my oldest son or my husband to see me with blood all over him to start freaking out. Well, my husband's actually very calm about end things. Um, he used to always be the calm one in emergency situations, especially when there was blood. I used to freak out. So, and then when you see your own blood, I was calm this whole time. I was just, oh, let me go get washed up. Okay, I was calm. I didn't freak out or anything. So I go up into the back. I go back in the house, and I'm trying to get past my father-in-law really quick because I don't want him to see me either and have him get upset. And so sneak by my father-in-law, run into the bathroom, and start cleaning up. And then my oldest son and my husband comes in the bathroom. What's going on? We heard Norma freaking out over something. She said you fell, and they're looking, and I was like, everything's fine. I'm calm. Look, it's just my hands. And I was like, look, it's just this one little spot. And so they're like, okay, okay, and I'm like, I'm fine. Trust me, I'm fine. Everything is good. And so I was like, did you get the dog back inside? How's the dog? Is Ty okay? Everything's fine. I'm like, everything is good. And they're like, okay. And so I was like, are we ready to go now? And so shortly thereafter, the goodbyes and everything, we all left and got on the road. And so it was, just, I couldn't, any other time in the past that I fell, I could remember like little flashes of it. I'm standing, flash, like I'm falling. The mind's going, protect, put your hands out, do this, okay? And this one was different. And I couldn't really verbalize it yet. I'm still processing it. But for everyone else, so you don't sound like you're some woo-woo person, some crazy chick, whatever, the narrative, I just lost my footing. I'm just going to say this. I don't know what happened. I really don't, because it happened so fast. But like I said, I mean, I've been pretty clumsy since I was a child. So tripping and falling is nothing new. But, and I could remember every process of it. Is more like when you're taking a picture with a camera on a fast click, 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 that kind of memory, right? But you could see each phase of it. It's not really smooth and fluid. It's just your certain segments of that fall. And that wasn't like that at all this time. And it was like I was standing, and then there was an absence of time. There's an absence of time. And then and then all of a sudden, the next thing is, oh, I'm hitting the ground on my glasses, and so I was like, well, that was really strange. I've never had that happen. I'm like, well, you know what? I know how I am with my head. I bite into it, and I'm like, I'm just going to let it go, and I'm just going to be grateful. I'm so grateful it wasn't worse. And then my husband's just like, it could have been worse. He goes, I'm really glad that's all it was, that I had my glasses on. I had glasses on. It could have just been worse. And that's it. He didn't go into great detail of how it could have been worse, because I'm right with you. I get it. Yes, very grateful that it wasn't worse. And so, okay, so that's that. and you know, then get home and do the normal thing from a trip, right? Unpacking, getting settled in and everything, and getting back into, I guess, a routine, so to speak, or just resting that night. And so I went to sleep and I'm like, all right, if I process this in astral or in my dreams, that's fine too. I just am kind of curious as to what happened, um, because it was different. And so then this morning I was outside, you know, in my morning gratitude session with nature, with all living beings, with the magnificent suns, with just all the elements, elementals, nature, etc. So I say all living beings to put that in a nice little short way of saying it. So, and then I'm just like, well, that was really strange. I'm just, searching is the answer there yet. Going within, looking at it from, I need to see it from a different perspective. Can we replay what happened? And then it was, I want to hit the feeling replay, not the mind replay. I need to feel that. Let me go to the energy of my body. I'm asking my body for the replay. I'm asking my aura and my energy field for the replay, not the mind, my body and energy. Because I was like, when's the last, and so my body's like, we felt this before. And I was like, well, my goodness, when? They're like, when you were 15, when I was 14 or 15, when I experienced electrocution. And when I was pushed out of my body and a huge light being came in. It was using my voice and instructions. And that's a story within it. I think I've shared that experience before, but there was like it was in a trailer in our backyard. We had a trailer for camping, but that was also my safe. I like my little hangout, my sacred place. If I wanted time away out of the house, away from everyone, and so it was storming that night. Now I could still see energy all the time at that time. I could see ground lightning. I could see the ground electrified. And I loved laying in the trailer and hearing the rain on the roof, right? And so just fast forward. So that was overnight. In the morning time, I ran inside the house. I was barefoot. I always went barefooted. So I was barefooted, went to go grab some, probably go to the bathroom, get some snacks, whatever, go back. I'm still barefooted running across, and I was feeling zaps from the ground. I was like, woo, I feel it on the bottom of my feet. I'm like, woo, like dancing, hopping, running to the trailer with a metal handle. And I grab on the right hand the metal handle, and I couldn't let go. So now I'm being electrocuted because the camper was plugged into an ungrounded outlet. At the time, that wasn't regulated at the time. Maybe for new construction, but not for old. And so, I was like, I can't let go. Oh my goodness. And then I just felt this I felt this push. All time stopped. And I don't know how to explain this any other way other than that I felt like I was just pushed out of my body or put into this protected place, maybe this plasma bubble, and just stay here. And then I heard, what I'm hearing is my own screaming, but I'm also hearing this voice coming out of my vocal cords giving instructions to my half sister who came out of the house of go to the garage, very clear, go to the garage, unplug the trailer. And so I asked her later on what she heard, and she's like, I heard screaming and very clear instructions at the same time. It was really weird. And so I wouldn't have known what to do. I didn't know what was going on. So the last time I felt like that absence of time, absence of this matrix, the absence of this beautiful, calm, peaceful nothingness was at that moment. And so I experienced this is what I experienced again. I'm like, oh yes, I guess it did feel that way. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. And so then, pondering certain scenarios and situations. So was I being did again? Was it my energy field, my aura, you know, vibrating high, knowing what's happening, vibrating high and cushioning and protecting? Was it the light being? Um, did I activate my Merkaba field, my protection bubble, you know, and just there you go? Or was I gone? Did I take off out of my body at the time where I last remember and then go do whatever and then to come back in my body? It was a little forward instead of not at the same moment, it was a little forward, and or maybe coming in and losing my balance because of, whoa, where am I again? And bam. So I've had loss of time now loss of time, um as far as, a lot, it happens in the shower. If I'm showering and, wow, you took a really long shower. And I was like, no, it only felt like 5 minutes, but it was gone, longer. And water is a powerful portal. We know this. It's a powerful, powerful portal. It can transport you into different places, different realms, or you just do different things that maybe your mind doesn't remember. And so, but your body can remember all this. Your body, your aura, all of this. So it was because I was calm this whole time. And that's that feeling, is when you're surrounded by that beautiful, beautiful field, the plasma of high frequency. And I know I keep repeating this word plasma, huh? Of high frequency. It's so calming. It's so peaceful. The fact I didn't freak out over my own blood, or just blood in general, because I used to, like I said, and I was just very still calm, and just I felt protected. I felt, wow, this was great. And then the mind wants to try to butt in and go, well, what happened? Oh, did we do something wrong? And this is a punishment. And I'm like, what? Isn't it crazy how we jump to these? I'm like, I'm not jumping to these conclusions, because I've had such a grateful weekend, and I'm not going to allow the mind and its processing of everything to pull me out of that. I'm like, no, I'm still feeling grateful. Everything, I don't think of it as a punishment. What? Because I fell? There's no such thing as an accident. There are some things that happen to get our attention. And so I was like, well, did it get our attention? Or now, too, we are really doing a lot of purging. There's a lot of energies around. And there's a lot of these little portals, or these spaces, or these, did I enter, did I walk through some type of little bouncing portal or something, or plasma field? You know, there's I still have questions. I didn't get a definite answer, other than, I don't really need to have all those details. And this is, I think, something that's important too, is during any type of what we consider chaos, we want all the answers, we want all the details, we want all the questions answered. And instead of just stop with that and just let it be. Just it, just enjoy the experience as much as you can. Look at always the bad, look at the good and the bad at the same time. And so, yes, I felt, okay, wow, who I will heal. And I am grateful that it wasn't worse. And my mother-in-law, felt horrid. She was like, oh, I can't believe this happened. What a way to end a beautiful weekend. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that to this weekend. It's energy. I'm like, I'm still grateful. It's still a beautiful weekend. This is, hey, I'm very grateful, that it wasn't anything worse. And so she's going on with, oh my gosh, you could have done this, broke your cheekbone, you could have done your jaw. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, yes, but that did not happen. So let's just stay focused on the positive, and let's, don't think about what could have happened. Let's be grateful for what did happen, and that it was minor. So it was just, it was just a beautiful experience. I still don't have all the answers. Like I said, what? So did I leave and then come back, but the timing was off, or through me coming back and throw my body off, or was it me feeling, you know, your body and my frequency field powering up and allowing the high frequency plasma to protect me. There it could have gone either way. Maybe it was all of it. Who knows? I just know that it was different, a different fall than I've ever had before, and it's okay. I'm okay with that. And when so I was like, I'm going to make a video about this, but let me do a little bit of work first. Check on my email. I haven't checked the email all weekend. Let me just catch up with all of this, and let me listen to a video while I'm doing that. So I chose Dr. Michael Salla has a great channel, Exopolitics Today, on YouTube. And then there's this Army Special Forces, I believe, JP, named JP, and he gives these updates. He's allowed to give these beautiful updates because it's time for us to reconnect with who we truly are, to remember, to reconnect. So they were talking about the arcs, and they was talking about the orbs that these arcs are sending out, plasma orbs. They could be physical orbs, little silver orbs and stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute, an old school spiritual way, which you heard of teaching, I had heard, it's like, oh, well, science really wanted to discount orbs, and even in photography, and it's dust, it's this, it's that, it's whatever, even in the paranormal, right? And all these types of photos just seem to be shot down. And no, that doesn't exist. There's something wrong with your photography or video equipment, with your cameras or equipment, and in the photography process, whatever. And then there was another of, well, no, orbs are real, but they are connected with the angels. It's always angels, the transportation of energy. It's just energy, plasma energy, and the higher beings direct that. Okay. And so then now it all comes together with this version of what orbs, and was like, yeah, I totally get that. I totally get it. And so I'm not going to ruin any of that. I should probably put the link in to the video that I'm talking about, so if you want to go watch that. So then it was like, wow. So did I maybe encounter one of those, an orb from the ark, and it threw me off? So I was like, wow, now it's just more questions. But you know what? It's okay. It's beautiful. I don't have to have those answers. And I'm just going to stay in that gratitude that I walked away the way that I did, that I walked away from it. And so, because there's no way I'm going to an emergency room. There's no way I'm going to any hospital, to any no, you can just forget that. And they know that. My body knows that. My team knows that. My spiritual team, no. So I'm just grateful for the experience. Thought it was kind of out there. Woo! Well, so anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. And what are your thoughts? Have you ever had experiences like that, or even now things are just, the frequency is speeding up, hyping up, the vibrations. We're feeling everything. We're feeling this planet's, energy rising as well, and so there's just a very high powerful time to be alive and to be here. And so, do you have any similar experiences? Please share, drop them in the comments, and I just love hearing from each of you and the interaction there. So there it is. That's my weekend, staying calm through the chaos and still maintaining that gratitude, that attitude of gratitude. Yes, I still have it, and I'm grateful, and know that all of our questions will be answered very soon. Everything will come back to us, whether it is just us remembering or we get clarity on other things. The veil of amnesia is finally dropped. I feel like it has been dropping, phasing out. And so I love that. We have to be careful. We're phasing in, phasing out. It has to be a phasing in and phasing out, because the sudden drop in, absence of something and pushing here of something, it affects us on energetically. The frequency of that could actually be very harmful for us. So there has to be a phasing out and phasing in at the same time simultaneously. And so as this happens, we're going to be remembering more, they're knowing more, we'll have all the answers, and there you go. That's beautiful. And so it's okay to have questions. We don't have to have every question answered, but I feel like we are in a time frame now where this, you know, all everything is being revealed. And I did hear at the beginning of January that this is the year of the great reveal. And so within us and without us, the information that's coming forward that we're going to hear outside of us with our ears, the news, new news, whatever, but definitely within us as well. So just have a beautiful rest of this holy divine week as we're getting closer to Easter. And so, that Christ consciousness, no matter what you believe in, it's a really powerful time. The Christ consciousness, the Mary Sophia Christos consciousness. So just stay in that space of love and compassion and gratitude, and that makes things so much easier to get through day by day. Absolutely. So much love to each and every one of you. Have a joyous rest of the week.